Hello, you may be wondering why I'm wearing sunnies at night. That's because I'm the cool dude. You may remember me from such famous videos as Persuasive Writing and, actually that's the only video we've been in. Tonight we're going to do creative writing, but we're going to try and copy the Persuasive Writing one, which was so popular. We won 9th prize at the Upper Kumbukta West K-6 Film Festival. Today we're going to be looking at creative writing, and creative writing in the NAPLAN test involves a number of things that we're going to look at in a scientific and intelligent manner. So stay tuned, pay attention, stay with me, and I'll take you through the whole thing. Don't you worry. Hey! Isn't that the random dude from the Persuasive Writing video? What's he doing here?
Use your imagination, cool dude.
So now I can actually see again, and I've got my proper glasses on. Let's get into it. This is a serious part of looking at NAPLAN creative writing, and what we're going to do is go through each of the things that makes it important and give you better marks, which is basically the aim of today and the talk I'm giving now. So it's not just about imagination and creativity though. There are some techniques and things you can practice to make your creative writing so much better. The first is narrative form. Form is important as it lets you base your ideas within a structure. The narrative form consists of an orientation, a complication, and a resolution. The orientation, as the name suggests, tells the audience the who, where, what, why, and when of a story. It gives the reader an introduction into the ideas, setting, and characters in your story. So work on the idea of who, where, what, why, when, and you'll get a pretty consistent beginning and orient the reader really clearly and carefully into your story. The complication, the second part, is the problem that your character faces during the story, and this complication usually leads to the nadir, which is the lowest point in the story, and the climax, which is the most exciting part of your story. The resolution or conclusion of the story wraps up any loose ends and ties the narrative together. So if you can work in that format and work within those structures in your creative writing, you'll do fine. No such luck. It's not the end. You're not getting out of my talk and my video that quickly. Remember the never-ending story? We haven't even talked about using the stimulus that you are given. The stimulus is the prompt or an idea that you are given, and it is normally a picture and some instructions, which can be questions to help you with your ideas. It can also give you reminders of things you have to have in your narrative, such as characters, the complication, and the ending, or practical things such as using characters, writing in sentences, and spelling. It is important here to remember the marking criteria. In creative writing, they're similar to the persuasive writing I went through very clearly in the other video, so if you haven't watched that one, you need to go and have a look at it. But there are some differences. The basic grammar and spelling and those sorts of constructive things are similar, but character and setting are added here, of course. And so let's begin to talk about those. Characters. Characters are the people you have in a story. For the NAPLAN test, it is better to have just a few characters rather than many, because it's a short narrative. So you're not writing a story like Game of Thrones or Harry Potter or one of those great massive tomes that people use. It's easier for the audience to relate to the characters if you have fewer characters, and because they don't become lost in a plot. With a couple of characters, you can develop them fully and give them a clear identity using description and perhaps a small amount of dialogue. Setting is the place where the story happens. A story can have more than one setting, but it is probably wise to keep it to 1 or 2 in the NAPLAN exam because, again, remember you're writing a short story and you have to do a lot in a limited amount of time. You must describe your setting to the audience so they can relate to it. As it is in the marking criteria, your story should have a clear, well-constructed setting that integrates well with your plot. And of course, here I am at the tip. And it does smell like fetid, rotting garbage. Ooh, stinky. So, some final thoughts and ideas. I mentioned earlier about dialogue. It can be a good idea to use a small amount of dialogue in your story if you are confident with it, especially if you understand how to structure it correctly with a new line when you begin the dialogue, correct punctuation, and things such as speech marks that you guys call it. If you aren't too confident, just a line will do to show you can use it. So a simple piece of dialogue might be, "Hey Ben, how's the filming going?"
Fantastic.
Description. The best description involves the 5 senses: touch, smell, sound, sight, and taste. As well as the obvious description, you can include emotions and feelings in your description if they're necessary for the plot. I feel like I want the rest of that must stick. Description brings colour to your work and adds something to your story. It gives it a bit of a lift and engages the audience, and this is what you're trying to achieve to get the maximum amount of marks. You can even use simple description. Just use some adjectives and adverbs and put it together. I think I'll finish this pink, yummy mustic. Above all, remain calm and go back and edit so you don't make silly mistakes. Well, that's our best tips for creative writing. I hope that helps you, and I hope you have a wonderful experience during the NAPLAN test. You'll enjoy it. Now, from the cool dude, I'm gone. I really can't see anything in these glasses.